What's going on, guys? Rob-A here, and today we're taking a look at Mega Bloks Assassin's Creed Chariot Chase. The set has 315 pieces and retails for about $29 to $30, depending on where you find it. I found this actually at CHARIOT.com, where it took forever and a day to actually arrive on my doorstep. Unfortunately, it got kind of lost in the mail for a couple of days, but that's beside the point. I gotta admit to you, right off the bat, I bought this set mostly because of the horses. I'm really interested to see how Mega Bloks does horses now, with their new, kind of updated collector's line, and this is, of course, one of the collector series lines, being the Assassin's Creed, which I honestly didn't know if they were going to be doing any more sets of, but here you go. So the set does come with Ezio and this guy, just a random, random bad dude. It also comes with the Apple of Eden, which is a pretty cool little piece, and of course this chariot with the two horses. Flipping onto the back, we can see, of course, you get Ezio. You can switch him out of his various outfits, including the hood and all of these different little bits and pieces here. He's got some hair as well. You do have firing missiles in the chariot for whatever reason. Also, a little push button that brings a sword out of the side of the chariot, which is pretty awesome. And of course, here's just a kind of picture of the chariot itself, and the dudes standing awesomely, I guess. Right on the bottom here, you can see some of the other sets that are supposedly available. I've seen the boat. I have not seen either of these two, but hopefully I'll be able to, because I really want that horse. I want that saddle. And I may pick up the boat as well, depending on how I like this set. The Assassin's Creed sets have been honestly kind of hit or miss for me. Whereas the Call of Duty sets I tend to like a little bit more. But these just tend to be a little bit simpler, a little bit more sparse feeling. But hopefully that's not going to be the case with this. And again, I am really excited to get the horses out and see what those are like. So I'm going to go ahead, put this set together, and I will see you guys in just a moment. Alright guys, so here we have the Assassin's Creed Chariot Chase all ready to go. And pretty neat. Let me show you what's going on. I'll show you guys the mini or micro action figures first, like we always do with these sets. And we'll check out this Templar first up, because he's, I guess, the easiest to show. So here's the Templar, looking pretty snazzy in his little vest here. There's nothing underneath. It's just a regular brown, plain brown shirt underneath, I guess. Let's stick them up on a little block, make it a little easier for me to show them off here. So you can see he's got the usual ball jointed head, and like the Assassin's Creed sets, which do differ from the Call of Duty sets in this way, he does have the removable hat piece or hair piece or head piece, so that does come off. He does sport a rather large unsightly hole in the top of his head because of it. But you can, of course, just fill it in with the hat, or there is some hair included for Ezio there, which you can also just plop on this guy, should you so desire, but then his beard won't match the rest of his hair, but it's quite alright. So you just pop that hat back on. He does come with a Morningstar Weapon, which you can swing around, and it's rather large. The the ball of it is larger than his head, so that's fun. And of course he sports the regular articulation, the bending legs, the ball jointed hips, the rotating waist, universal shoulders, and elbows as well, the wrist swivel, and of course again the head on a ball joint. So that is your Templar. Looking snazzy. He's got a little pouch on his back. And that's pretty much all there is to say about that gentleman. Next up, we have Ezio here. Ezio is our assassin for the day. So we're going to take a look with him and see what's going on here. He doesn't want to get on this stud. That's fine. You can be difficult. It doesn't bother me. Actually, it does very much. So maybe I've got a problematic one because his foot does not want to seem to go on this stud, no matter how much I want it to. So I've got a bum foot. That's unfortunate. This foot works fine, and he's got all the same articulation, but he's got much nicer, I guess, paintwork, or not necessarily. This guy's really nicely detailed as well, but this one just means more, I guess, because it is Ezio. So he does come with dual shadow blades here on his wrists. He does also come with an Apple of Eden, which you can see is just kind of a clear piece. It fits over his hand, as you can see, just like that. You can just pop it out, and then just pop it into his hand there. This Ezio also comes with a little cape, which is very nice, and a much more detailed shoulder thing, bandolier of sorts, as well as a two-tone blade, which is pretty cool. Very nice. He's got the rubber belt, I guess you would call it, and the very soft plastic rubbery coattails as well, so you can get a lot of cool poses out of that. And of course he does come with the assassin's hood, which you can remove from his head. Mostly. Well, you can remove his head with some varying degree of success. You're supposed to be able to remove the hood from the head. There we go. We got it. It's just getting stuck on his nose and his chin and everything. There you go. So there is Ezio without it. Not the best Ezio face ever. You can, of course, put the hair on as well if you want an unhooded assassin, or unmasked, or whatever you want to say. But I think he looks just generally better with the hood on. And I may, in fact, actually go in afterward and just paint in some gray over his face, just so it looks like there's more shadow behind the hood and just less kind of goofy facial hair and stuff. He does have a nice bit of paint. You can see the red lines behind the bandolier and the red lines on the front of his coat jacket thing. So they did a really nice job with this guy. Next up, we do get some horses in this set, and those I will show to you. They just plug in like so on the chariot itself. So you get two. You got one gray horse and one kind of tan, brown, beige horse, and they're nicely posable. As you can see, you get forward movement in the legs, as well as a bend at the upper knee, I guess. Well, the knee. I guess this is the ankle here. No articulation in the ankles, which is kind of a bummer. And the back legs are just solid. They don't. Whoops. And by solid, I mean very brittle. No, they're not actually, but you do assemble these yourself. They come disassembled, and you just plug them all together. So I think I pushed it past the point where it was supposed to go, and it kind of popped out of its socket there. But you do get decent range of motion with the legs there. You can get a nice rearing situation going on. The tail goes up and down, and of course the head, or the neck, goes up and down. And the head is on a ball joint, but it is rather limited just due to the way that it's sculpted. You can see the neck does come up quite a bit, so you could probably get some more motion out of this if you just shave this top bit down, because it will be covered by the mane, and it won't be so much of a problem, I don't think. The mane actually does detach as well. Basically all the parts of this horse detach. Like this little bit of mane on his head is also a separate piece. So I am a little bummed you can't get the head up. So you can't really put the neck down and the head up as though the horse is, in a running position, which is kind of a bummer, but you do get a decent amount of posability, and they do look very nice for very small versions of horses. So they certainly get the job done, and I'm not that disappointed with them. But I would have liked maybe a little bit more movement in the head. So On to the set itself, I guess, finally, after, you know, a million years. The set is actually pretty neat. You get this nice big chariot here. As you can see, you've got a firing missile. So, well, you got a ballista in the back of the chariot, which doesn't go around 360 degrees. It is blocked by just the sides of the build, but you can just pop it up and turn it around if you really need it to face a different direction. You've got some kind of sort of flick fire missiles back here. They literally just kind of sit in there very loosely, and you can just whack them in whatever direction you please. You get 3 of these guys, and we'll just put them off to the sides. They're just little brick-built missiles. And of course the ballista, you know, being Mega Bloks, looks really nicely detailed. They did a great job of putting, you know, the big wheels and everything in there. You've got this little handle so you can have somebody manning the whole thing. You've got nice printed, I'm just going to pop the horses off. You can see the horses are held on by this little yoke, I guess would be the word, maybe, sort of. And we'll just pop these guys off here and just let them stand off to the side, so we can take a better look at the wagon or chariot or whatever you want to call it itself. So you get a little spot up here for the guy to sit. You can put, you know, a weapon or whatever in there, or have him stand on that if you so desire. The interior is nicely detailed. You've got the kind of wooded paneling, you know, for the floor, and of course, again, the printed pieces on the side. These are all printed, no stickers in these sets, just like so. Looking very cool. You have a special feature here with this little sliding piece. So you can slide this piece back down, and boop, it pops out two blades from the sides of the chariot. So you can run folks down as you're passing them by, and then just push that forward and it pops right back in. Now, the building of this whole gimmick, it's a little strange. You get an addendum page to the instructions because they did, I guess, change how it was built at some point throughout the manufacturing process. So you'll get the instructions, which are totally wrong. You don't even get the right pieces for it. And then you get this addendum page, which is right, it's correct, but it's in black and white. So you might have a hard time picking out what pieces are what, just because the colors are not there to kind of show you what's going on. So I had a little bit of a hard time with that, but it really wasn't that big a deal. You know, I got it figured out. You also get this little part down here. This piece pops out, and there is a little hiding spot down here where you can hide, I don't know, a person or your missiles, maybe. Yeah, you can hide your missiles down there if you want. That's probably where I'll just put the accessories from the set, hair and whatnot. But yeah, pretty cool. So you just pop that back on, and you got a little stand there for your Templar, and you can sit down here and, of course, steer the horses, which just attach by a ball joint, like so. And it wheels just fine, very nice. And the back isn't very functionally great, but it looks pretty cool. I love the use of this little, I guess, a little stacked looking bit that, you know, I've seen in other sets. Usually it's used as like a shock, but in this case it's tan, so it looks like it's a rope kind of causing the pressure for this ballista. But either way, it's a very cool set. I don't know how difficult it'll be to get a hold of. I only found it at Target.com, and then when I went back, it was unavailable. I did find it at ToysRUs.com as well, but also listed as unavailable and not sold in stores. So I don't know what the status is of these, if they're still really new, or if they're, you know, just not coming out to the general public and will only be available in a few certain spots. But it's a really cool set, and it's not that bad for $30. I thought it was going to be kind of a meh set at the $30 price point, but I'm actually quite pleased with it. I do like the horses, I like the micro action figures, and the chariot is well built and looks really nice and has, you know, cool action features and functions. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Still liking these guys. So that is going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be back with some more Mega Bloks, hopefully in the very near future. And in the meantime, thank you for watching again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.